Hello, my beautiful listeners, and welcome to Life Podcast, a show where we try to understand life and our existence. Today, we're taking a journey into your mind, because your mind is often an uncharted territory, yet it's the most profound possession you'll ever own. You may have heard the expression, "it's all in your mind." Well, it really is. Everything that you experience, the way you perceive the world, and even your memories are all in your mind. Many people go through life without ever learning much about their own mind, but taming your mind can bring a lot of stability to your life. Think for a moment, what are the predominant thoughts that run through your mind every day? In other words, what is the conversation that you're having with yourself on a regular basis? How you think and how you spend your time has a big part in shaping who you are as a person. So it's probably worth understanding your mind and your thoughts. Without a proper understanding of your own inner world, you might spend eternity chasing external validation, when all you really need is fulfillment within yourself. In today's fast-paced world, most people are running after things that don't really matter. They are chasing an illusion that always leaves them unfulfilled. But what's really missing in people's lives? Sometimes people try to fill their emotional emptiness with the wrong things, which leads to destructive behaviors, and they risk becoming an undesirable person without even realizing it. For example, people who constantly try to assert power and dominance over others usually feel powerless in some aspect of their own lives. If they addressed their own feelings of powerlessness, then maybe they would stop bullying others. And things like insulting others and inflating your own ego can be linked to a superiority complex, in which people try to overcompensate their feelings of inferiority with an illusion of superiority. And finally, compulsive shopping can be traced to a search for self-validation through material possessions, and that's just one of the many causes. But all these feelings and habits are actually within your control. You just need to take the time to understand and address the root cause instead of behaving impulsively without thinking. By the way, try this. Whenever you feel the addictive compulsion to buy something at the mall, wait for a while, maybe even a day, and when the feeling passes, then go buy the item. This way, you're the one purchasing the item instead of the item owning you. You see, when you begin to know yourself, then you start to realize why you do what you do. And there's great freedom in this knowledge because it frees you from your habitual patterns and leads you to what's real and authentic in your life. Keep in mind, no amount of superficiality can give you the peace of mind that you can achieve by understanding yourself, and recognizing your destructive thought patterns is an important first step. One such common pattern is self-criticism. In fact, it's even said that we are our own worst critics. Now, maybe you don't actively criticize yourself, but if you beat yourself up for making a mistake, then you're expecting unfair perfection from yourself. You know that no one's perfect, right? So why do we expect ourselves to be mistake-free? And a mistake really isn't failure if you learn from it. This is just a small example of how people can be hard on themselves. They unknowingly develop a critical voice in their mind that constantly puts them down. But by knowing your own mind, you can better discipline your thoughts and catch yourself when one of these destructive patterns begins to form. And as for perfection, it's subjective. What you think is perfect may not be for another. So even when you think you've achieved perfection, there is no such thing as the ultimate perfection. We've all seen people who are imperfect, but they can laugh at themselves, and the world absolutely loves them. And then there are people who are so scared to make a mistake that they're always perfect, trying to please the world. And the irony is, nobody really thinks much about them. In trying to please the world, we end up losing touch with who we really are, and we end up letting our perceptions run our entire life. You have to learn to laugh at yourself. We all have good days and not so good days. That's quite normal. But in the end, it's all about your state of mind in that moment. In other words, how you choose to react to a situation is more significant than the situation itself. Think about what you're thinking right now. Everything that you're experiencing is edited in your mind. It's not so much your eyes, but your perceptions that create your reality. Dr. Joe Dispenza is a best-selling author and researcher in the fields of neuroscience, epigenetics, and quantum physics. And he has said that the brain processes about 400 billion bits of information every second, but we are only aware of 2,000 of those. So just think of how much of reality we are deleting and how much we are reconstructing in our minds. Think about your dreams when you're sleeping. You see things, you hear things, you experience a whole reality that doesn't even exist in this world. How can you have such vivid sensory experiences when nothing is happening around you? More specifically, take a look at the limbic system, which is responsible for regulating emotion. It serves many different functions, including sensory processing, which is basically how you interpret your five senses. And as you know, the five senses are sight, smell, sound, taste, and touch. Now, the interesting thing is that when you are dreaming, the limbic system is one of the most active areas of the brain. So basically, the very system that is behind your emotional perceptions and dreaming experience is the same system that helps you interpret the world around you when you are awake. So could it be that our experience in this universe is nothing more than a virtual reality of our mind? If you're not driving right now, then try the following experiment. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine seeing a big red balloon. You'll be able to see it in your mind's eye. Now imagine hearing the sound of a piano playing in the background. Now, once you've imagined these things, open your eyes and think about the red balloon and the piano. Where does all of this exist, other than in a reality you just created? We've all seen people who go through life lost in their mind, focusing on things that aren't really there. Their eyes may be open, but they are not present. They're actually watching a movie in their mind, one that they have scripted themselves. And they keep repeating scenes that cause them to feel bad throughout the day. See, when you're lost in your story, you don't even realize it. But if you've created a disempowering belief in your mind, then maybe you can also create an empowering reality. The main thing to remember is that your negative perceptions do not define you, unless you choose to be controlled by them. So I invite you to take a look at your thoughts and drop all the thoughts that make you feel insignificant. Try it for a day and see how you feel. The challenge is that the minute you get a negative thought, you must immediately stop it and start thinking about something good in your life. If you are able to genuinely complete this challenge, then take a look at how you feel at the end of that day. Notice the quality of your new thinking and how it shaped your day. And if you feel yourself swaying back into negative thinking, then just remind yourself how your emotions can have an impact on your health. And you have to decide whether you want that impact to be positive or negative. When you fall in love with yourself, then your life becomes a celebration. I don't mean a narcissistic type of love, but genuine love for yourself that is based on self-respect and self-reflection. And when you approach life from this perspective, then you start to get out of your head, and the negative voices begin to lose power. I wish you all the best in your journey, my friend. Be kinder to yourself and others. Until next time, take care. And remember to live your highest potential.